I'm going to be conducting this review from a cave, as while the rest of the world celebrates the arrival of The Witcher 2 Assassins of Kings, I'm still traipsing through the lakeside from the previous game and don't want to rush the experience. Well, I can't rush the experience if I wanted to. My time is being beaten into submission by immigration authorities, future in-laws, and parents. Actually, it's less of a time mugging and more of a covert assassination, injecting a nagging voice into my mind that repeats, "You should be doing something useful," which is basically an evolved form of, "Ugg should hunt for food and build shelter, not just sit and play with self." Anyway, remember when I said that The Witcher isn't a game you can dip into for a half hour? Well, for that I've been using Magicka, a cute little isometric adventure released in January 2011 from Swedish indie developer Arrowhead Studios. It's a bit like Tyrion, but instead of a spaceship you're a Jawa from Star Wars with deific powers instead of guns, and not run-of-the-mill deific powers, but mix and match deific powers. It isn't a scrolling shooter though, or a sci-fi game, so not like Tyrion at all really, except in its ambition to generate fun via fast-paced customizable destruction. The core gameplay is based around a neat system of 8 elements: water, fire, that merge to make steam, lightning, earth, cold, merge with water to make ice, shield, arcane, and life, which can be quickly chosen and arranged within 5 spell slots and unleashed in 3 different ways: towards enemies, as an area effect, or on yourself. The power of the spell depends on how many of the 5 spell slots are used, and for how long the Jawa charges the spell before releasing its effect. Each element has an opposing element with which it cannot be merged, but all in all there are 8 quadrillion combinations. Okay, that's a lie, but there's still a satisfying number, including special spells which require the collection of a book to reveal a specific combination of elements. While I imagine the multiplayer to be similar to Diablo 2, that is, good, it's not something I've actually tried yet, sorry. You can tell by Arrowhead's logo that it doesn't take itself too seriously, and neither does Magicka, which is keen to cram in as many silly names, nerd or pop culture references as possible, causing reasonable amusement. It's a good-hearted little thing, but my biggest gripe about it is its base gameplay. Importantly, the game succeeds in making the spellcasting itself very simple and accessible, and while all the controls are clear, I feel like I'm dragging my character through a sequence of staged battles, rather than being able to run free and play with my elemental toys in a rambunctious and cathartic manner. This is the fault of the lack of fluidity in the character's movement, the height of the camera, and the level design, which keeps interrupting the gameplay with comedy cutscenes instead of integrating them. The optimization isn't great either. It's serviceable and it's fun, but its glorious spell system is marred by subpar execution in most other areas, which is a pity because it's a sweet idea. I imagine it's not wholly original though. I recall Castlevania Circle of the Moon had an array of combinable properties to augment attacks, but in Magicka it's taken far further. Fingers crossed for next time, Arrowhead. Not that any of you care what with your copies of The Witcher 2. See that speck on the horizon? That's me shaking my fist at you from my cave, hugging my copy of Magicka and sobbing. I don't care that CD Projekt Red are kicking BioWare in the balls, taking its RPG crown and lecturing it on the proper implementation of downloadable content and how to make RPGs. I have Magicka. It's not like The Witcher 2 is the most beautiful game or anything. It's ugly. Look at the bad lighting effects. Bad, ugly. Yes, I like CD Projekt Red. It's easy to respect a company that loves their work and is as yet uncorrupted by greed. Right, I'm going to finish The Witcher.